Welcome. This is video 4 of the Assessing Risk of Significant Harm training course for child protection practitioners. This video introduces you to Risk 1 screening tool and provides an opportunity for you to screen your own cases. What is Risk 1? What is risk screening? Risk 1 or risk screening is a checking process designed to uncover hidden harm. It has been created for several reasons. Imagine that you've worked with a family for 18 months. They have care and support needs, but they are not in need of protection. Every Monday, the school sends you a message that the child is late, unkempt, or hasn't had breakfast. Every week, a health visitor reports to you that they are getting concerns from other parents about what is happening in the home. There's always noise, there are a lot of visitors, and talk about drugs. They are all telling you they want you to do something. Over time, you get used to a certain level of noise about cases. You develop an immunity to being affected by the messages. You become tolerant of the circumstances. All of the evidence mentioned may not be indicative of child protection. This is probably not significant harm at the moment. However, if you screen every month, for example in supervision, you ask yourself regularly, do I have any concern about significant harm in this case? It provides a regular check against indicators of significant harm or likelihood of significant harm in the future. There are 3 possible answers to the magic Risk 1 question, do I have concern about significant harm? Yes, no, and not sure. Yes means you have sufficient evidence and have identified possible significant harm. This is the threshold to instigate child protection procedures. No means that you have sufficient evidence that there is no significant harm and no child protection actions are necessary. Not sure indicates that you need to take further actions to clarify your evidence. This may include starting a Stage 2 risk assessment. Exercise 1. Risk screening. Exercise 1 provides you with an opportunity to try out risk screening. From the Downloads page on the Practice Resource module, you'll find a workbook to accompany the course. This exercise is in the workbook, with instructions and an example of a short recording template for you to complete. You can pause the video in order to fill in your workbook. When referring to any cases in your workbook, please do this anonymously, for example by using initials. Select a sample of cases that are familiar to you. For example, a child protection practitioner with 20 children on their caseload. Select 10 of these. Write their initials in the left-hand column. Ask the screening question for each child. Do you have concern about significant harm? Record your screening answer in the yes, no, or not sure column. You can record any comments, and if it needs to be progressed to a Stage 2 risk assessment. You can pause the video to fill in your workbook. Reflect on the exercise you have completed. Were you able to decide whether it should be a yes, no, or not sure? Did you notice anything that you recognized got in the way of making these decisions? If so, what were these? Did you find it easy to do? Was it practical? Was it quick? How could you use this in your own practice? We asked you to do exercise 1 without providing you with a lot of information or context, so we're making a few assumptions. We are assuming that you have an understanding of significant harm in order to understand the question. We suggested that there were 3 answers to the question, do you have concerns about significant harm? But there is a 4th answer. I don't know what significant harm is. Your ability to confidently answer the screening question depends on you having a good understanding about what we mean with significant harm. During the videos in this course, you will be introduced to an explanation about what significant harm is. There are also other videos and presentations in the practice resources for you to look at. Risk 1 is a simple screening question. It can be incorporated easily into several processes. For example, in case management, meetings or reviews, just ask the question, do we have any concern about significant harm at the moment? Risk 1 is most effective when it is used routinely and on every case. One of the best examples is its use in social work supervision. The supervision checklist has been incorporated into the regular supervision arrangements of some teams. It is used by the practitioner to prepare for supervision. All cases are screened and scored. The results can be discussed, or some cases of concern identified for attention. One of the advantages of screening is that it guards against discussion bias. In supervision, there are conflicting demands and work is prioritized. So if you have 25 cases, you're involved in 5 court processes, have 6 child protection cases, which ones do you discuss? Usually, court and child protection work. Yet, these are the ones with greatest oversight already. They're already overseen by the court or in child protection case conferences. At the other end of the needs continuum, what about low-level child neglect cases which has been managed over several years yet never discussed in supervision? We know that low-level neglect may, over time, become significantly harmful. Screening with a Risk 1 supervision checklist provides an overview of all cases. Once you have worked through video 4 of the Assessing Risk of Significant Harm course, please progress to the next part, which is video 5. Video 5 is the first of 3 videos looking at significant harm. Video 5 looks at what is harm.